Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2018 and part 9 of our Mercedes career mode, and in today's episode we are going to be taking part in the Austrian Grand Prix around the Red Bull Ring, but first we have some more contract negotiations to get into.
They think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review if you're interested. Let's see what kind of offer they can put on the table.
So apparently Williams want us. I'm fairly certain we don't want to go to Williams though. Let's be honest.
Negotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
So this is what the team are expecting. Let's just see what we can do if we go into here.
There's no rule saying you need to stay in the same seat forever. Selecting a team here only affects the negotiation. The actual move won't take place until the following race weekend.
So, you know, we could go and move to Ferrari if we want. Renault are looking very good, actually, if we... our value to team, that is. So, I'm actually a bit more valuable to... Actually, hold on. Hold on. I think as soon as you click that, does that maybe guarantee that you go there, no matter what the contract? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's not mess with it. But yeah, do we? I say we stay the second driver. I think that'll help us out a little bit. We'll go hard on that. We shall move that up to 50%. Let's try and get quicker pit stops, and I kind of want to move that to third as well, so we'll propose that.
They didn't like those terms.
Oh,
let's try again.
That's close. That's close. If we put that up to fourth, that should hopefully work. Can we do that? Oh, that's...
We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Yes.
That looks good.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
That was close, but we have actually got the contract we want. I still don't think we've done well enough to become the first driver. Lewis is leading the championship, and you know he's winning the rivalry at the moment quite comfortably. So he could well be looking at winning that rivalry. And if you look at the championship, he's 11 points ahead of us. He's won 3 races, we've won 1. I really don't think we should be the first driver, so that's why I've picked second driver. You guys might think I'm crazy, but that's just my opinion on it. But anyway, I'm now going to hand over to Future Joe in qualifying 3 for the Austrian Grand Prix. It should be a good one. Alright guys, here we are in Q3, and I think things are looking good this weekend. We have been in really good form, to be honest with you. Fastest in Q1, a 106.0, and in Q2 we came through on the super soft tyres, sorry. So we'll start on them in tomorrow's race. That is your top 10.
The way the car handles is all about weight transfer. When you brake, the centre of mass moves forward. When you accelerate, it moves rearward. And when you turn, it is pushed to the outside of the car. More load on each tyre equals more grip. So make sure you're smooth with the controls to prevent the weight transfer from becoming too violent.
Thanks for that, Jeff. Just completely interrupting us. But, yeah, Charles Leclerc has managed to get into the top 10 shootout, which is pretty good. I mean, apart from the top 6, there's one driver from Renault, McLaren, Haas, and who else? And Sauber, of course. So that's quite impressive. We now need to head out and see what we can do on our first flying lap. So here we go then, guys. Let me take you through a lap of the Red Bull Ring on F1 2018 in this beast of a Mercedes. You want to get nice and wide onto the pit straight. This is probably the most important corner of the lap, and you know, we haven't really hit that as perfectly as we can do, but it's certainly good for a banker time early on in this session. We'll see what our first sector split is, and you see we are fractionally down. Little lock up into turn 4. We've been struggling there all weekend, to be honest. We've been slower than pretty much everybody through that corner, so that's going to be a tough place for tomorrow's race, certainly at the start. That is poor from us, a little bit wide on that turn, but this is where the Mercedes really comes into its own through this section of corners. Absolutely sweet through there and through there, but we are 6/10 off Lewis Hamilton at the moment. This hasn't been our best lap. Well, here we come round the final corner and we come up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:57. We have took pole off Lewis. We have done it. But you can already see we're sort of a 10th up coming through that first corner. Wow. I was not expecting that. I certainly thought we were slower than Hamilton, but I'm just guessing the final sector we are just bossing it. And yeah, perhaps it's the way we've set up our car. Maybe Lewis is set up for more straight line speed and we're better in the downforce areas, but wow, I mean, that is incredible. But I don't think it's over yet, so I'll see you guys for our final run. So here we go then. This is going to be our final hot lap of this qualifying session. How are we going to do? We go wide at turn 1, so surely this lap isn't going to be better. We can afford to take a few more risks. We've already got pole position in the bag, really. Slightly better exit from that turn, and you can see the delta is just rising and rising and rising. What was it's not now, but again we go wide here, but we're still green, and that's all that really matters. Although we've took that turn too early, surely we're not going to improve here. Oh, somebody's been off the track. Look at that. Yeah, we're about a 10th down, so we've got to hope that nobody improves. Lewis Hamilton is the one to watch, and he has! Lewis Hamilton has! Have we got anything to respond? No, we haven't. Oh, Hamilton has snatched it at the death. We put together a pretty poor lap at the end there. Ah, that is annoying and frustrating.
But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Hamilton, the captain, and Sebastian Vettel. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
So right at the death then, Lewis Hamilton takes pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. We have to settle for second, but still an amazing achievement to both of us to qualify so far ahead of the rest of the pack. We really have been on top form here, and this circuit really does suit the Mercedes car in F1 2018. So it was a real pleasure to bring that qualifying 3 session to you. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and now it's time for the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Now I want to ask you about Daniel Ricciardo. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and the captain completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen, and Alonso, Vettel, Leclerc, Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Carlos Sainz, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Sergio Perez, and Ocon, Gasly, Hartley, Sergei Sirotkin, and Lance Stroll, Ericsson, and Stoffel Van Dorn completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
So here we are down on the track, guys. We're looking at lap 9 as being our pit stop. If you want to have a look at the setup, feel free. It's pretty similar to the one in France. And yeah, we'll probably be using similar setups for plenty of the Grand Prix in the future. But hopefully you guys are good. Thank you for all of the support on the series so far. Really do appreciate it.
Cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
So obviously a couple of penalties, big penalties for Ricciardo and Vettel, means that they're a bit further down on the grid than they would usually be. But yeah, it's us versus Lewis again, and Lewis has won 3 of the last 4 Grand Prix, and obviously retired from Monaco when leading that, so very interesting. Stoffel Van Dorn disqualified, so is Stroll. So those two must have collided at some point. But yeah, I kind of want to keep doing the formation lap. After last time when we got the incredible start, I'm wondering whether it was because of the warm tyres. You know, maybe if we make sure these tyres are nice and warm before going into the grid. Well, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, they've took control of the car. That's why. So yeah, it's an intense one. You know, one mistake around this lap could cost you a lot. So I'm hoping that we can get off to a good start. Hopefully get past Lewis into turn 1. Although that is going to be very difficult. It is such a short run up the hill.
Be patient and watch for the lights.
Everybody's pretty much made it now. Getting ready for the lights of this Austrian Grand Prix. Hope you guys enjoy. Lights out, away we go here in Austria. It's not a bad stop, but Verstappen off to a brilliant start, as is Raikkonen. We're just going to take it nice and easy into turn 1. We don't want any sort of incident. The Haas has got past us as well. We've dropped down to 5th. Obviously on these less grippy tyres. Well, I broke far too early for that corner, meaning that even the McLaren got past there. So we're in trouble early on in this Grand Prix. Just a bit of a tentative start. But Lewis Hamilton leads, Verstappen in 2nd, Raikkonen in 3rd. with Magnussen 4th, Alonso 5th. We're down to 6th on this opening lap here in Austria. But we know that our pace is very good. So once we get into our rhythm and a little bit less cautious, hopefully we'll be able to make some passes. We're already making some headway on Fernando Alonso through this sector where we've been absolutely mighty throughout the weekend. I just don't want to smash into the back of him, you know, quite obviously. But Lewis Hamilton, a 1:10.5, he's already 4 seconds ahead of us. Coming up on Fernando now. Gonna try the undercut on him. It looks like we might have managed it. I think we have Vettel making his way through the field as well. He started 7th, so he didn't make any positions on the opening lap. I don't remember Magnussen starting in 5th, so good start for him. But we're already back up to 5th now. So Magnussen's our next target. Well, we managed to get past Magnussen. He just sort of backed out of it. He's seen us on the inside, probably knows we've got a lot more pace, and we managed to pass him.
DRS has been enabled.
Kimi side by side with Max Verstappen here, and he gets past him before the corner even hits, so that's going to be a slam dunk overtake. Unless Max has managed to have the DRS, but I think it's probably Kimi that has it, and even so, the Ferrari is so good in a straight line. So Kimi into 2nd now.
ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
That's not what you want to hear. 3 laps into a Grand Prix, but we are seriously catching up to these 2 ahead. And we need to get past them quickly so that we can start eating into the gap to Lewis. So we've got DRS here. We'll use it to catch up.
Okay, go to leader. 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, they were just a bit slower than I expected throughout that first turn. We're going to turn down the mix. Oh my goodness, look at the fuel. We are desperately in need of some fuel saving, but I'm going to wait until we're past these 2. Max Verstappen has got the DRS wide open against Kimi, but Kimi has the inside line, so Kimi should be able to defend here. Side by side, absolutely amazing.
Please, we need to charge the battery.
And they're still side by side. Oh my goodness, they touch. And nearly went into me. We'll go down into lean mix. We're already nearly a lap under fueled. This could be a big chance now. We've got the DRS wide open, but that means Kimi pulls away. He's having a look at Max. We're going to brake early. Oh, just a little bit of wheel spin out the corner. That is unlucky. But they're side by side again. This battle is incredible so far. Now, is Max going to have the DRS? He is. Is he going to manage to get past Kimi again? No. We go down the inside of Raikkonen. We're going to have DRS, but he's going to be able to pull away because he's got a 2 and we're in a lower fuel setting. We're going to have a look. Down the inside, Kimi locks up. Kimi has locked up.
Reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
So we've now passed Kimi Raikkonen into 3rd position. We're on the podium now. Surely this is going to be our chance to get past Max. DRS wide open.
Approaching the pit window. You'll be on the ultra softs.
We go a little bit wide, but Max has dropped back, so that's the end of that one, unless Max can pass us on the next straight. But we're currently 8.6 seconds behind Lewis. Time to try and whittle that down a little bit. And try and save up some charge for when we come into the pits. It was lap 9, I think, that the pit window opens. I think we might go a couple of more laps longer than that. Okay guys, we are actually going to pit on this lap, simply because I think we'll benefit more from the ultra softs for longer if we're on them for longer. I feel like tyre weight won't be too much of an issue, hopefully, but we're in. So Lewis Hamilton will be back into the lead. 2.4 seconds the pit stop, really good from the team there. And there goes past Grosjean.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Gotta be careful coming out of here, goodness me. There's Max. And there's Gasly. So Gasly is a bit of an annoyance here. Let's just settle into these tyres, and you know we'll probably pass them in the next sequence of corners, and then we can start using the ERS. Look at that, we go down the inside. Good move on Gasly. And now it's time to push on Max. Should be able to pass fairly shortly. And here you go, much better exit from the final turn. We go to the inside. This should be easy as you like. And we are through on Max now. So it's all about Operation Catch Lewis, although Max has got the DRS to try and come back at us up towards turn 4. Can't believe he's actually trying it. Whew. Fastest lap of the race, but we are 10.8 seconds behind Hamilton, so let's push this lap and see how much we can close in. Well guys, it just wasn't meant to be. We've been whittling down the gap every lap, setting fastest laps pretty much every time, but we just ran out of steam in the end, ran out of tyres. And you would have to say, ran out of luck. The start cost us, but Lewis Hamilton has come round to win the Austrian Grand Prix. We come round in second in a Mercedes 1-2. Hamilton has the hat-trick.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I think I'm going to give it to Daniel Ricciardo. He's come through the field so well today, you know. Well deserved.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Well, what a Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins it in the end, 6.7 seconds ahead of us, which, you know, considering we were 10.8 or whatever at the start of that second stint, we did well to whittle it down 4 seconds, but just not enough laps and not enough tyres in the end there. Verstappen, again, consistent in 3rd, Vettel 4th with Ricciardo in 5th. Raikkonen finishes 6th with Fernando Alonso a great 7th, Sainz in 8th, Perez 9th and Romain Grosjean in 10th. And as you've seen in the driver's standings, Lewis Hamilton leads the way. We're up to 2nd now, only 18 points behind Lewis, but it's going to be a tough ask to turn this season around now. But we're going into a stretch of races which, you know, is going to be nip and tuck between us both. I quite fancy me for Germany and Hungary, but Lewis might be stronger around Silverstone and perhaps Spa and races like that. But no, that is where we're going to leave it for this episode. If you have enjoyed that, then make sure you do leave a like down below. It really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for more regular F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.